morning. It's, I think, about 7:50 in the morning. Look at this beautiful marsh. I'm right beside Highway 2, but I'm turning off of it now. That Lily's Garden, what an adorable little place to stay. It was, my own room, my own bathroom, no frills at all, just the renting of a room and the kindness of a wonderful couple. And Clayton drove me in this morning. He was all set to go at about 7:15. He had already been out, he said, and picked 4 ice cream containers of raspberries, and he and his wife were going to make some raspberry jam today. I feel way better today than I thought I was going to after yesterday's long, eventful day. Today is just under 32 kilometers. I'm going to try and space things out a little more today. I've given myself a lot of extra time. I'll probably get to Wellington around 4 o'clock, but I don't have the taxi coming until 5. I'm going to make my stops, 3 stops every 8 kilometers. It's right now about 17 degrees, no humidity. It's going up to only 21 degrees with no humidity, or at least very little. And overcast with a chance of showers later this afternoon. The challenge with that, oh my goodness, the mosquitoes already. So I've taken a little bath in my Deep Woods Off, and I'm gonna hike in a long shirt today. All right, there it is. Long and straight, it lies before me. First stop, 8 kilometers, should be a little place called Ellerslie. Eight-kilometer stop, and you can tell I've got the bug net on, and I don't know if you can see them in the picture, but I am absolutely swarmed. But I need to stop for a little bit. I'm gonna have a little bit of a secondary breakfast. I'm generally not hungry first thing in the morning, so I had a banana and a drink, and now I'm gonna have an oatmeal bar and a little bit of watermelon and have a little pee break and get back on the trail as fast as I can, because this is crazy. This might be too much information for some, but for women who hike, particularly distance hiking, and you're wondering about my frequent pee breaks, this is a godsend. It's called the Whiz, and it allows me to go standing up without exposing any of myself, meaning the mosquitoes can't get my patootie. And then in here, I just keep an old rag that I keep clipped to the outside of my backpack, and I wash that out every night. That way I'm not leaving any toilet paper or having to cart toilet paper or Kleenex around with me. And this just gets a quick rinse and gets put in the Ziploc bag, and that all gets washed out when I get to my evening destination. So that's how a girl does it, standing up. This, coming up, is a significant signpost. It says 69 kilometers. And 69 kilometers is exactly 1/4 of my hike through adventure is behind me. Crazy to think that. That was kind of fun. Little events of the day. Don't know if you can see her, but there's a woman down there with her big dog. He's only 8 months old. She's from Kitchener, and she married a gentleman whose family is from around here. And so they come with their kids and they summer here. Anyway, it's like you see maybe a few people each day. Like day one, I think I saw one cyclist and 3 walkers, all local. Yesterday was the big day between Alberton and O'Leary. I think I saw 6 cyclists. Not distance cycling, or at least they didn't have any packs or anything, so they looked like they were local, just out for a walk. And now today, that's my first encounter with a human and their furry pet. Small things, small little events, brings a smile to your face. Kilometer rest stop. Like I said, I'm trying to do 8 between rest stops today, 3 sets of 8. So I'm in an area called the Tyne Valley, be where I rest my pack, my feet, change my socks, and have a little bite to eat. The next section brings me to Richmond, home of the Richmond Dairy Bar. This girl is having some ice cream in 2 hours. That break time was about 20 minutes longer than planned, so it's a good thing I built in some extra time into this trip. That last leg, I noticed that the outsides of my heels were feeling just a little sore, which is weird because I've done 1,000 kilometers of hiking in this model of shoe, in the Ultra Lone Peak 4.5s. Now these are new ones, but they're identical to my old ones. And I have hiked in these for a bit before this trip. The only thing I can think of is I've never hiked this far on absolute flat crushed stone surface. Who knows? Anyway, when I looked at them, the blisters were quite large, one more than the other. And I thought, I can't keep going with that. So I pulled out the medical kit and did a little blister surgery and bandaging up. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that's all part of using your feet as your only mode of transportation. This is all part of the Tyne Valley that I'm going through. But you can see the trail's a bit different because the trees are set back much further. A different kind of forest. Every now and again I come out to a big clearing, and because the path is so wide, the mosquitoes are here, but they're not nearly as bad as they were. Just a different kind of scenery. So you gotta wonder, what leads a person like me to want to do something like this? And I was thinking about the nature-nurture rule. How our behavioral makeup is 40 to 60% nature and 40 to 60% nurture, and a combination thereof. And when you look at the nature side, there's no surprise there. I come from a long line of adventure seekers, problem solvers, independent individuals with both artistic and musical talent. That's kind of my personality profile right there. And then we get to the nurture side. And I've been so fortunate. Dad in particular. My mom, I would say, nurtured my ability to stand up for myself and debate. Sorry, Mom. I was a bit of a challenge for her. And my dad never questioned anything I ever wanted to do. As a matter of fact, he would assist me in seeking out crazy things to do. He never said, "You're too young for that. Are you sure you want to do that? Do you think that's a good idea?" Never. I never heard that come out of his mouth. But nurture isn't just your parents. Nurture is someone you've connected with growing up. And I had my Grandpa Sherwin, my dad's dad, who I adored, also an adventure seeker. And I remember getting in the car with him, because whenever he came to visit, he just loved to go adventure. And I would say, "Okay, Grandpa, if you turn right, I know exactly what's down this road. It's a good way to go." And he would invariably turn left. I'd say, "Grandpa, I'm not so sure about this. I don't really know what's down here." And he says, "Oh, don't you worry." He said, "Where there's a way in, there's always a way out." And he would say, "Besides, this is how you're going to discover new things." We've never forgotten those times, and I try to live by those times. Challenge is, my dad is both an adventure seeker and a big-time planner. And so he taught me the big-time planning part. And that kind of conflicts a little bit with the adventure part. Takes a bit of the spontaneity out of it. I'm working on that. I'm still a planner, but I'm definitely more open to those plans having to change. So there was that nurturing. And then early on in my adult life, there were others who nurtured me. On a Friday, I decided to go to Toronto and interview for a job. And they offered me the job that same Friday. I accepted. They said, "When can you start?" I said, "Monday." I went back home and I said, "Dad, I'm starting my job in Toronto on Monday. I need to sublet my apartment and sell my car." And he was right in there like a dirty old sock. But when I got to Toronto, I didn't really know anyone. My cousin was there, but they lived in the suburbs and I was living right downtown. And that's when I made, I think, one of the strongest friendships in my life. Her name is Carol Ann. Carol Ann, if you ever see this, you need to know I think about you all the time. We've since lost touch, but she was such a support. She was a crazy adventure seeker like me, and we just had 5-6 years of really good times. So if you look at the nature and the nurture, I'm a very fortunate individual, and because of all that, I'm right here, and that's pretty awesome. There it is, one step closer to my ice cream. I'm not quite sure where I have to go or how far. I'm hoping it'll be on that sign. And then after that, it's another 8 kilometers or 2 more hours to Wellington, where a taxi cab is going to pick me up. But first, ice cream. So this is my early dinner for the day. It's 2 o'clock and I made it to the Richmond Dairy Bar. And I'm having clam strips with crispy fries and peas, carrots, coleslaw, root beer. And I have an ice cream cone coming at the end. Well, that was a nice little break. but I don't know when I'll learn. Because whenever I come to the island, it always takes me a day or two to realize that when I order my clam strips, I don't need to order the dinner. I just need to ask for a side of clam strips, because that's all I want. I don't want the other stuff. Now, I did eat a few fries, not very many. And I had the carrots and the coleslaw, because I figure I need my veg. But I had to save room for the, what was it? Peanut butter cup chocolate ice cream cone. It was so good tasting. And for those of you who are wondering, what the heck happened to the gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, refined sugar-free girl? And she's still here, just not 100%. I probably eat that way about 90% of the time when I'm at home. But I love to travel. And part of my love of travel is to experience the food of where I'm going to. And that's really hard to do on that diet. So I figure if I eat a little bit of it, I've noticed that it's not enough to really aggravate my system. I have fibromyalgia. And so those foods can sometimes kick in some of the discomfort. But I notice if I have just a bit here and there, it isn't a big effect. And then my system doesn't go into shock when I travel and do eat those foods if I hadn't been eating them for quite some time. So that's the story there. All I know is that was really good. Tummy's full for the day. 7 kilometers to go to Wellington. Mosquitoes. Yeah, I should be there in about between an hour and a half and 2 hours, depending on how quickly I hoof it. Right now I'm feeling pretty relaxed and just strolling along. I've been thinking a lot about my kids. So today's shout out goes to my kids, Emma and Adam, and the awesome partners that they've connected with, Stephen and Christina. You know, there comes a time in that parent-child relationship where you realize your kids have grown into these amazing, independent young adults. And the whole parent-child relationship kind of morphs a bit, changes. And over the last 2 years, they have become a major support system for me. My daughter, spending hours on the phone or sitting on my sofa, coaching me through some difficult times. We try and sort out the meaning of life. And my son, when the world seemed to be letting me know of everything it felt about me that was wrong, negative, this gentle child didn't really say a lot, but he hugged me and he said these few words. He said, "Mom, you are loved." And those words were the jump start to my healing. And so for my kids, thank you. You have grown into some freaking amazing people. And I love you. See you soon. Song of the day. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. I'm about 6 kilometers from my destination, and it started to rain. Not hard, but it is supposed to get hard. I knew about it, so I donned my wonderful backpacker's attire. Looking like fine. You can see me forever. But I'm telling you, this was the greatest investment. It might be warm, but it covers pretty much every square inch of me. Amazon, love it. I like the rain. It's just an observation. Must be the maritimer in me. But I did it. I've arrived in Wellington. I'm just heading to the co-op. My taxi's not supposed to be here until it's 4:35 right now, and he's not supposed to be here until 4:55, but I got a feeling he just pulled in. But anyway, I got to run into the co-op, so he's here early. He's going to have to wait a minute. But I did it. That last kilometer seemed really long. I'm really hot, and these old feet, they're aching a bit. Anyway, off to my bed and breakfast. So this is the Prince County Guest House, and it is so charming. There's a king-size bed. Don't know what I'm going to do with all that space. And we come around into the bathroom. Yeah, it's going to do just fine. That was a long 32-kilometer day, and my feet are sore. Time for a hot shower and just lay down in bed and do it all again tomorrow.